Tonight, off and running.
In-person voting opportunities will begin in October, with voting day being October 26th.
Several candidates throw their hat into the ring in the race for mayor as the nomination period opens up. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe plans to run again as well, but has not yet registered. Ottawa goes to the polls October 26th. A summer aimed at reducing crime.
I think it could be a template, not just for the downtown core, but where we have hotspots all over the city.
As a plan to boost police presence in the Byward Market gets underway today. And they're not messing around, lining up to find out.
I came as soon as I heard there was a clinic available.
A mole-mobile proves a popular attraction, forced to turn people away by late morning. Why you may want to be ready the next time it rolls through town. Good evening. We begin tonight with a new month and a new season. Campaign season. Ottawa's municipal election campaign officially underway. The race for Ottawa's top job, always the highlight. Several candidates registered today, but not the current mayor, as the 178-day election campaign gets underway. CTV's Natalie Van Roy spent the day outside Ottawa's elections office and joins us live in studio. And Natalie, we should note the mayor does intend to run again, just has yet to register.
That's right, Patricia, just a scheduling issue. But I was at the elections office bright and early this morning, and a number of candidates were ready to go, cementing their bids for the city's top job. A crowd of hopeful candidates outside the City of Ottawa elections office early Friday morning. Among them, veteran City Councillor Jeff Leeper, first in line to run for mayor.
This is the fourth time I've signed a nomination form in this city, and this is just as exciting as the first time.
3 candidates officially registered to run for mayor on day one. Neil Saravanamuttu, an economist who spent years in the Department of Finance.
I care deeply about this city, and what's happening right now is not good enough. And so people that have the ability to step up really need to right now, and that's why I felt that it's time for me to come forward.
And Alex Lawson, a home builder.
The biggest issues in the city are definitely going to be affordability, rents, transit, traffic, and crime. And I'm excited to chat with you guys a little bit later about some full policy ideas.
A spokesperson for Mayor Mark Sutcliffe said he wasn't able to register Friday, but remains fully focused on delivering results for Ottawa residents. He intends to run in the next election and will file his paperwork in due course. Voter turnout in 2022 was more than 43%. That year, Sutcliffe won the election with 51% of the vote, with 14 candidates for mayor. The election is still 178 days away, taking place on October 26, and there will be several ways for residents to have their say.
The opportunity to apply for a special mail-in ballot or proxy ballot will begin in September, and our in-person voting opportunities will begin in October.
Meanwhile, the candidates are ready to hit the ground running.
There are a number of issues that are going to be prioritized in my platform. Transit is obviously something that I have been hearing across the city now for months.
We can actually get going. We can start signing up our volunteers. We can start getting donations, and we can start pushing the city in the direction that I think Ottawa voters want.
How do we have a city hall that reduces costs for everyone? And finally, how do we put communities back in control over the local issues that they care so much about?
Meanwhile, there was discussion around another city councillor, Tim Turney, possibly entering the race for mayor. His office confirming to CTV News that he was truly humbled and grateful to be part of that conversation. But after careful consideration, he will not be running for mayor. He is seeking re-election for councillor. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have a really complete package on the municipal election online, including key dates leading up to the October 26th election. You can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan the QR code on your screen using your smartphone. Well, one of the main issues in the election campaign likely to be community safety and crime. Tonight, a new push to boost police officer presence in the downtown core is underway, targeting hotspots from the Byward Market to Chinatown. CTV's Josh Morano joins us live with more on this, Josh.
Yeah, Patricia, Chief Eric Stubbs first announced the plan in March, focusing on police visibility and response in the city's busiest area. The chief expects to see a reduction in crime by the end of summer, something people who live and work in these areas say they're ready to see.
For Pamela on Yemenam, the Byward Market is a frequent spot to visit,
at least during daylight hours.
I'm usually here during the day, but if I, lived in the area or I was here at night, I may not feel as safe.
Melanoma feels uneasy in the market, but welcomes the news of more officers in the tourist area.
Police presence will definitely help to minimize, all the noise we hear about Byward Market downtown during the weekend and late at night.
It's part of Ottawa Police's new downtown safety plan. Beginning Friday, more officers will be on the streets in the core areas, including the Byward Market, Rideau Street, Centertown, and Chinatown.
I'm really happy to see how this all plays out because I think it could be a template, not just for the downtown core, but where we have hotspots all over the city.
Police say the plan includes more than just enforcement, partnering with different services in the downtown core to help the vulnerable population on the streets and conducting outreach.
This is about being present and making sure that we're accomplishing some goals. And it's managing some social disorder that we're seeing in the downtown core.
A few blocks away in Chinatown, businesses say they are dealing with many of the same challenges.
Even during broad daylight, you see people using drugs on the sidewalks and dealing on some private properties.
Where crimes being reported at all hours of the day, there is hope an increased police presence leads to quicker response times.
We need small incidents like this to decrease significantly, to bring the sense of safety back to the community.
The new safety plan will run until late September. Back in the market, Melanoma says she too hopes to see some big changes.
It would be great to feel safer at night, so increased police presence would definitely be a good idea.
Stubbs notes there are hurdles the service could come across that will draw resources away from the downtown plan, including major events and protests and significant crimes elsewhere in the city. The schedule could be adjusted based on conditions and demand. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Josh Moreno live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, residents living along the Ottawa River in Ottawa and Gatineau are being urged to remain vigilant as water levels stabilize. There was no increase in water levels at Britannia and the Hull Marina today. The city of Gatineau says the river should plateau this weekend and gradually recede next week. However, officials warn water levels will remain high for the next few weeks. Still ahead, did your homework assignments look like this? You Ottawa students designing and testing a sports car for competition. That story coming up. Well, taking a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 9 degrees in Ottawa right now, a little bit cloudy out there. As we look ahead to the weekend and how that is shaping up, Jackie's here for our first look at the forecast. Jackie?
Yes, Patricia, we've been hearing from some viewers, and in Manotick, actually a little bit of rain moved through as well. We are anticipating some scattered showers in the next couple of hours, but by the time the overnight rolls around, we could see partly cloudy skies. Right now, temperature-wise, it's not just 9 degrees in Ottawa, it's about 8 in Kingston, 11 along the seaway for Brockville and Cornwall, Pembroke at 8 degrees, and yes, there is a slight chance we could see this mixed in with some flurries and that rain moving through fairly quickly as well. Now, taking a look, as we looked for temperatures dropping, we did mention this, a frost advisory in effect for parts of the GTA and Montreal. The good news is it is not in effect for Eastern Ontario, but that does not mean we aren't getting temperatures that are hovering around the freezing mark. So 2 degrees overnight for here in Ottawa, mainly cloudy skies, those northerly winds moving in as well. 12 degrees is tomorrow's anticipated daytime high, and we could see another round of scattered showers moving in as well. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit, and we mentioned that we could see more precipitation moving in, and we'll tell you those details in a bit.
Ottawa motorists will be paying $1.90 a litre for gasoline this weekend. Prices jumped 8 cents a litre at stations this morning. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague says the average price of gas should increase another penny tomorrow to nearly $1.92. Motorists admit they are feeling the pain of those higher prices.
I work pretty close to where I live, fortunately, but I drive around on site. I work in construction, so you know, those high prices, like just every day, it keeps adding up, and yeah, it's tough.
You can't do anything about it. You got to pay the price. You can shop around for deals, but you got to pay the price.
Oil prices have also surged recently, with the jump being tied to stalled peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. And with you paying more at the pumps, cost savings will have to come from somewhere else. CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports.
With gas prices soaring, Canadians are feeling less than fulfilled at the pumps.
It's ridiculous, to be honest.
When you look at the price on the pump, what goes through your mind?
Am I going to have to put my car away for a bit?
What we're paying is a direct result as to what's going on in the Middle East.
The war in Iran and the subsequent closure of the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil normally travels through, has sent prices peaking.
I paid $170.
CTV News crunched the numbers. An average size vehicle has about a 50-liter gas tank. Most Canadians fill up once per week. The cheapest national average for gas so far this year is about $1.22 per liter. Over a 12-month period, that would run you about $3,172 in gas per year. On the high end, the national average now sits at about $1.84 per liter. If the high price sticks around, it would cost an average of about $4,784 a year at the pumps. That's a difference of $1,612.
I think it's going to get much higher. I see $2 a liter is not only a possibility, it's a probability at this stage.
The potential increase has some drivers already cutting back on other expenses.
You'd have to cut back on activities with your family.
Yes, I'm going to have to, due to the fact that the gas prices are affecting us a lot.
My meat consumption has gone down significantly, and for me, there needs to be an offset.
Those watching the market say there's a belief that elevated prices could be the new normal for several more months.
I can see this going to the end of the year. Merry Christmas.
Analysts tell us that even if the Strait of Hormuz was reopened today, it would take at least 2 months before we see any meaningful decrease in the price here at the pumps. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
The federal transport minister is derailing hopes of running high-speed rail to the old Union Station in downtown Ottawa. This after business and tourism officials called on Alto to have the train stop in the heart of the capital. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is following this story for us. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, Alto is in the studying and planning stages of building a high-speed rail between Toronto and Quebec City with stops in Peterborough, Ottawa, and Montreal. One of the big topics of discussion is where the train will stop in the capital. Last week, the heads of the Ottawa Board of Trade, Invest Ottawa, and Ottawa Tourism sent a letter to the head of Alto. It said high-speed rail deserves a stop in the heart of Ottawa and asked Alto to explore a downtown station. Speaking with reporters today, Transport Minister Steve McKinnon says there are many challenges to build a station at the old Union Station.
The old train station, it became clear, posed some geo-technical challenges, not least of which is that a canal runs on top of the tracks that you would have to put in place a tunnel. And we saw on the Rideau Street cave-in when the light rail was being built that the geology of that area can be very problematic. So Ottawa has a train station. In fact, an architecturally renowned train station. That is one site that will obviously be assessed.
Councillor Stephanie Plante and other councillors have objected to tourism and business officials endorsing a high-speed rail station downtown. Meantime, rural farmers are learning a bit more about how Alto could compensate landowners if the land is expropriated for the rail line. An Eastern Ontario farmer says while there is a lack of detail about possible compensation, it shouldn't be the focus of discussion right now.
We shouldn't be just talking to farmers about like how they would be impacted by this on their farm or whether they'd sell their farm. It's like, why haven't we had that discussion about where's the credibility of this project in the first place?
Alto says it would work toward a negotiated settlement with landowners that considers market value of the property, disturbance costs, and business and farm losses. Alto has wrapped up the first round of public consultations on the Ottawa-Montreal leg, with a report expected later this summer. And Alto CEO will be on News Talk 580 CFRA Weekends with Andrew Pinsett on Saturday, and you can listen between 6 and 10 a.m. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a youth is facing charges in connection with the death of another youth at a school in Bath, Ontario. Police responded to a school for medical emergency on Monday, March 9th. A youth was transported to hospital and later died. Ontario Provincial Police say as a result of the investigation, a youth is charged with criminal harassment, indignity to a dead body, and indecent communication. The name of the youth will not be released. In a statement, the Limestone District School Board says, in part, student safety and well-being remain our highest priority. We take all concerns related to bullying, conflict, and safety seriously. We are committed to maintaining safe, supportive, and respectful learning environments across all schools. A 34-year-old Gatineau man is facing charges after he allegedly threatened a local mosque. Gatineau police say officers searched a home in Buckingham on Tuesday after a threat was reportedly made against a mosque in Aylmer. Police seized a .22 caliber gun, 4 air guns, and computer equipment at the home. Well, Canada residents are calling on Premier Doug Ford to stop the residential development of the Canada Golf Course. Last September, the Supreme Court of Canada cleared the way for 1,500 homes to be built on the golf course lands. Today, the Canada Green Space Protection Coalition sent a letter to Ford asking the province to issue a ministerial zoning order to stop development. The coalition says it has many concerns, including the absence of a finalized stormwater management plan and the need to preserve the land as urban green space. Ford said last September the province would not get involved. Well, the federal government has unveiled its plan to tackle the massive backlog of air travel complaints, now close to 100,000. Travelers have long been calling for action to speed up the process. That, in some cases, takes years before being resolved. CTV's Abigail Beeman says the measures include much stiffer fines.
Delayed till 12:45, then delayed till 1:10 a.m.
Frequent flyer Robert Walker says he's collected so many delay and cancellation messages from airlines he can write a book.
You get nowhere, it takes forever. I haven't got time to worry about it, and I just don't believe that anything will ever be done.
He's not optimistic about the federal government's commitment to better handle air travel complaints, included in the spring economic update.
We put in place a system that, in hindsight, was onerous, expensive, took too long.
The Fed's now proposing to quadruple the fines airlines could face to a maximum of $1 million. Clear the complaint backlog by using a third party based on the successful model in the UK and EU, and simplify the complaint process.
The exemptions, the lack of clarity, the confusion, the loopholes.
Since January, the Canadian Transportation Agency tells CTV News it's received more than 1,000 complaints every week. That backlog now stands at 97,000, and it can take more than 2 years for your complaint to be reviewed.
This is really, I would argue, the first time that we've seen the government acknowledge that the system itself needs to be reformed. And so we're encouraged by that.
The National Airlines Council of Canada told us that before new details about much bigger fines emerged Friday and wouldn't share updated reaction.
I don't believe the government.
While this air passenger rights advocate says Ottawa is offering smoke and mirrors.
The government is essentially trying to solve a PR problem. When they are going to privatize it, they will be able to shake their finger at whatever third party is running the adjudication process and say, you are not doing your job well.
Gabor Lukash says the reason the system works better in Europe isn't because of a third-party system, but rather easy-to-follow rules about whether compensation is owed, which he would like to see in Canada. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Police are urging the parents of teens to talk to their kids about the dangers of playing the senior assassin game. The social media phenomenon involves teens shooting each other with water or Nerf guns. However, those guns can often look realistic, and York Regional Police say officers have responded to 8 weapons calls after concerned citizens called 911 thinking they were seeing teens with actual firearms. Police say any gun-related call is treated as legitimate until determined otherwise.
I came as soon as I heard there was a clinic available.
Well, coming up, lining up for the Mole Mobile, a new initiative to boost skin cancer screenings. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Taking a look at what we can expect for tomorrow. It's going to be a cool start, 3 degrees, and we're going to get a mix of sun and cloud for the most part of our day, but it is in the afternoon that we could see some scattered showers rolling in. It should be fairly brief because by 8 p.m. it is going to likely be partly cloudy skies. Now, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where it is 9 degrees. Parts of Ottawa did see some scattered showers, but didn't quite see it here for downtown Ottawa. Cloudy skies, though, are down here at Parliament Hill area.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
Where foodies love their sweets.
And markets bursting with flavor.
Wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud.
Woo! And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Taking a look at the roads on your Friday drive home, despite the eager faces behind the wheel. Can't wait to get where they're going. Not seeing too many problems on the road this evening. Things moving well on the Queensway. Well, there was a long line at train yards today, not for shopping, but for a skin check. The Mole kicked off its cross-Canada tour in Ottawa with the goal of bringing skin cancer screenings to all 10 provinces. CTV's Peter Sperling reports.
Oh, this spot.
Yeah. Carrie Sheridan is seeing a dermatologist checking for skin cancer.
Early detection is the best.
So I'm using my dermatoscope to get...
But it's not in a typical doctor's office. This is the Mole, providing free screenings for skin cancer.
I was here bright and early, so I was only like 16th in line.
The coast-to-coast tour with more than 130 stops launching at Ottawa's train yards Friday morning.
Lots of people here who are looking to get their spots checked to make sure they're not cancer.
The one-day clinic offering checks to the public on a first-come, first-served basis, proving to be very popular.
I am not surprised, actually, because last year we did have over 4,000 people show up when we were here in Ottawa. So that's part of the reason why we launched in Ottawa here today, because we know the need is so incredible.
With spots quickly filling up.
So why is there this need? I think we have a lack of dermatologists in this country. We need more dermatologists. Wait time is long. A lot of people even don't have family doctors, as we know. And so getting into the healthcare system is sometimes very difficult.
I came as soon as I heard there was a clinic available.
Julie Pichet came from Quebec. She's been waiting since 2019 to see a dermatologist.
I even got a letter last winter saying that they were checking their list to see if people still needed them.
I do have a family doctor who's on long-term sick leave, so I can't get a referral to get to a dermatologist to get to an appointment. So this is my option.
The Mole will be in Cornwall on Sunday and will return to Ottawa for one day on Parliament Hill in late May, then Gatineau in October. As for Sheridan,
good, all clear. Good for another 150,000 miles.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Well, May has officially arrived, but it's still feeling cool outside. The sun, though, was shining beautifully at Watson's Mill in Manotick and along the Rideau River today. Below seasonal temperatures are in the forecast this weekend, but that does look gorgeous, makes you eager to get outside as we take a look at the weekend and beyond. Jackie's here.
Yeah, that's right, Patricia. We are starting to see some scattered showers throughout the region, not quite here for Ottawa. That's the good news. When we take a look at this temperatures right now, about 9 degrees, mainly cloudy skies, though, for the most part. Did see a daytime high about 11, 12 degrees. That's the good news. But again, we are still sitting around seasonal, and especially the overnight lows getting closer to the freezing mark. So it's going to be about 2 degrees in Ottawa, 3 in Brockville, 4 for Cornwall, at the -3 for Pembroke, including Petawawa as well. And because temperatures are likely going to dip below 0, there's a chance we may even see some light flurries moving through, yes, as we begin May. Now, tomorrow's daytime highs, 11, 12 degrees. Scattered showers likely will occur in the early part of the morning, just before 7 a.m., but also in the later part of the afternoon. As we look to our friends Atlantic Canada's 10 degrees in Halifax, 11 in Fredericton, already seeing the precipitation move through. Take a look at all the blue that is covering Quebec as well as Ontario, and this is where that cool, chilly temperatures are going to be. So right now it's 3 degrees in Timmins and Sudbury's. Quite the warm up, though, for our friends in Alberta as well as Saskatchewan, where temperatures are in the high teens. Edmonton around 18, Calgary 19 degrees, Saskatoon, Regina sitting around 20, 23 degrees. And this is temperature we would like to see for the springtime, but not quite going to get there, at least for the weekend, unfortunately. 10 degrees cooler is what we're anticipating. Taking a closer look at Saturday into Sunday, yes, much of the precipitation will have moved through, so we'll get a mainly sunny day for our Sunday, but by the time Sunday evening into Monday rolls around, this is what we're keeping an eye on. There could be some precipitation moving in. And now this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Now, this weekend, still temperatures hovering around the mid-teens. It's those overnight lows, though, still quite chilly. Saturday into Sunday, -2. Again, sunshine for our Sunday. Monday, 14 degrees. It will be Tuesday night into Wednesday that we are likely going to see another round of possibly heavy rain showers moving through. The early forecast indicates between 20 to 30 millimeters, and it's still early, but we are keeping a very close eye on this for all of you. Patricia.
Pretty good, though, for all those outdoor activities happening this weekend, so that is good news. Thank
Lots
you.
of activity.
Yeah, busy.
I think we have some pretty neat innovations on our car that some teams don't have that kind of gives us a little bit of an edge.
Well, coming up, University of Ottawa students look to shift into high gear as they roll out their own designed vehicle. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. You can test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
Tonight, passenger skepticism on clearing a massive airline complaint backlog.
I just don't believe that anything will ever be done.
Unpacking the new plan and what it means for future travel. Later on CTV National News and Watch on Crave.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Students at the University of Ottawa are revving up ahead of an upcoming car competition against universities across Canada and the U.S. The student-designed and built car will look to take the title of the 2026 Formula SAE champions. CTV's Camille Wilson with that story.
That's the sound of the beginning of competition. An open-wheeled Formula One car designed and built by students at the University of Ottawa.
It's called a Z-Bar.
Driver Farhan Rashid is back for his second year.
It feels really rewarding. Like it's something, like in your classes, you don't really get to do anything. You don't really apply what you're learning, and then this is a way you can do that.
A team of 35 students preparing for their race in Detroit, Michigan against 120 universities from across Canada and the United States for the Formula SAE.
I've spent a lot of time in school, a lot of time learning a lot of things from books, and it was really exciting for me to be able to work on something with my hands and implement all the engineering I've been doing for all these years.
Aham Alakar's first year with the team, but he's got a handle of 31 plus sensors.
So we have a dash right here. This guy records data for us. We also have an engine control unit. So this guy also records data from the engine and all the critical systems, and what I was doing was pulling the logs. So all of our sensors. We actually have the most sensors we've ever had on this car.
I'm just taking that off. I'm going to put the bolt in and put it back here.
Rashid used to be on the Formula SAE team at Carleton University before switching programs and joining U Ottawa.
I joined their team because I wanted to drive the car. I just thought driving it was cool. And then when I joined the team, I just started doing the engineering stuff, and then I realized like it's actually really cool, like you're building a race car.
This is a 10-year anniversary of the school running in this competition.
Our car is very special. We're a very small team of engineering students. We don't have the resources of other schools, but we still have the technical knowledge and the skills to really excel at our competition. And I think we have some pretty neat innovations on our car that some teams don't have.
Thousands of hours spent in the shop outside of class to design, fabricate, and test.
Here we have side pods. That was a new design for this year. I designed them, and basically what they do is they direct the air that just flows over our car, directs it into our radiators, and helps optimize the cooling efficiency of our whole car.
And what drives Rashid?
Obviously, F1 would be cool. If I got the opportunity, I'd do it.
The competition taking place from May 11th to 18th. Camille Wilson, CTV News.
In tonight's Big Picture, the Toronto Zoo is introducing its newest animal, a Bactrian camel calf. The zoo says the calf was born at 7 a.m. on Thursday and stood for the first time about 2 hours later. It's the third calf for mom Surya. The zoo says mom and baby are doing well. Bactrian camels are listed as critically endangered, and there are 7 camels at the zoo. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. Ottawa firefighters and civilians have been honored for their bravery and humanitarian efforts. The Fire Chiefs Awards were handed out last night at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Ottawa. The categories include the Team Award, given to an entire crew for their role during an emergency, and the Award of Excellence, given to Ottawa fire personnel who go above and beyond operational duties to create a positive impact.
Free going, it's Rattray on the offense, scores! Jamie Rattray with the go-ahead goal for the Fleet.
That is Jamie Lee Rattray with the game-winning goal as the Boston Fleet beat the Ottawa Charge 2-1. The Fleet lead their first-round PWHL playoff series 1-0. Game 2 set for Saturday night in Boston before the series shifts to Ottawa for Game 3 next Friday night. Travelers will have more options to fly to sunny and warm destinations out of Ottawa next winter. Porter Airlines announced it will launch non-stop service from Ottawa to Aruba, Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Los Cabos, Mexico in the fall. Porter will also increase the number of flights between Ottawa and Cancun and Miami. Sections of O-Train Line 2 will be offline this weekend to allow for work on the track switches. On Saturday, Line 2 trains will run between Limebank and Greenboro stations, while R2 bus service will run between Limebank and Carleton stations until 12 p.m. On Sunday, R2 bus service will run between Carleton and Bayview stations until 11 a.m. And it is a sign that patio season is here. The Byward Market has announced that Byward Market Square between York Street and Clarence Street will be closed daily between 10 a.m. and 7 a.m. the next day to accommodate the summer patio season. The Byward Market District Authority says the street closure will create a safe pedestrian environment and facilitate summer programming.
We do have a few, I would say, Toronto animals celebrity references. Something I would like to add is the IKEA monkey.
Coming up, the legacy of Toronto's famous capybaras are being honored on a video game.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal. Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Now to breaking news in Ottawa's Centertown neighborhood, where a pedestrian has been struck by a vehicle. We have a live shot of the intersection of Laurier Avenue and O'Connor Street. An Ottawa paramedic spokesperson says a pedestrian on the sidewalk was struck by the vehicle, and the vehicle then crashed into an office building. The pedestrian is being treated for serious injuries. Ottawa police are on the scene. We'll have more detail on this online and as it becomes available. A couple of capybaras created a buzz throughout the city a decade ago. When they escaped from the Toronto Zoo, they were eventually found and returned, but their legacy lives on in a new video game. CTV's Corey Baird explains.
The search is on. 10 years ago, the unlikeliest of jailbreaks catapulted the capybara from obscure South American rodent to Toronto's top news.
Live over High Park, where those two young capybaras are still missing.
In the 30 days it took to capture the cappies, social media exploded with sightings and speculations citywide.
It popped out onto the street here.
It swam directly from the tree right up to where I'm standing now.
We heard that they escaped.
The bears, it's all gone.
A decade later, they've escaped again. In video game form, that is. You can call off the search parties. Cappy Castaway is the brainchild of indie developer Saffron Aurora. You play as a lost capybara trying to find your way off of a replica of Toronto Island.
I love Toronto, so any way that I can sort of represent where I'm from, I like doing that.
The Queen Street Viaduct, the DVP Rainbow Tunnel, even TTC streetcars among the game's many Toronto Easter eggs.
You can see one of our references over here. This is Nest Fred's. I'm actually going to do this one over here, which is Fran's Diner, if you're familiar with Fran's. We've got a little Timmy's cup, our coffee cup. It's a winning cup! Would you look at that? We do have a few, I would say, Toronto animals celebrity references. Conrad the raccoon makes an appearance. Something I would like to add is the IKEA monkey.
The video game industry is volatile, so success is hardly guaranteed. But there could be gold in these hills. Capybara cafes do big business in Japan, so maybe the world's just been waiting for our own ode to the rodent.
I think the capybara is a friend to all animals. It's very like loaf-shaped and it's very approachable.
Cappy Castaway will be available for download later this year. Corey Baird, CTV News, Toronto.
A Canadian energy company has announced a large expansion in the U.S. BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez has the details.
TC Energy will expand a pipeline system at a cost of $1.5 billion U.S. The gas system runs from New York State to the Midwest and Southeast. The Canadian company just reported earnings with a revenue for the quarter at about $3.9 billion. The system expansion should be up and running by 2030. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.58. West Texas Intermediate is down to 101.94. Western Canadian Select also down to 81.92. And the TSX lost 73 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
They go through your skull and then they go into the ventricle, and basically a tube is inserted there, and then that tube drains fluid.
Well, coming up, a new procedure tested in Toronto offering groundbreaking results for patients with a disease that mimics dementia.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal. Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Our first May weekend. Time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
If you'd like to walk or cycle for a great cause this weekend, you still have time to sign up, but the last day for registration is tomorrow. The CN Cycle for CHEO is happening Sunday, and it's your chance to support something super meaningful, a brighter future for the children and families who rely on CHEO. All events start and end at the Canadian War Museum with post-event activities at LeBreton Flats in front of the museum, so make sure you sign up. Next up today, this one sounds like so much fun. Saturday is International Line Dance Flash Mob Day. Dancers from all over the world are going to be doing the same 3 dances. If you want to join in here in Ottawa, head to the Ron Kolba Center at Britannia Beach by 1 p.m. The Ottawa Line Dance community is inviting you to show up early, meet some new friends, and wear red and white. Last today for the flower lovers tomorrow and Sunday. You can check out the Ottawa Orchid Society's 42nd annual show and sale. If you need a spring pick-me-up, this is definitely a great one for that. Bring some friends and check out the displays, the vendors, and lots more. It's at Algonquin College in Building D, and parking is free. Lots more happening around the capital this weekend. The full list and all the details can be found at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Normal pressure hydrocephalus is a disease that affects older adults with symptoms that mimic dementia. It can be treated, and a CTV health reporter Pauline Chan tells us St. Mike's is testing a groundbreaking procedure.
Normal pressure hydrocephalus, or NPH, can be difficult to diagnose because it can look like dementia.
It's usually characterized by a triad of 3 symptoms: cognitive difficulties, difficulty in ambulating, and some urinary incontinence.
Dr. Jose Danilo Diestro explains the traditional treatment has been to put a tube to drain excess fluid from the brain into the abdomen.
They go through your skull and then they go into the ventricle, and basically a tube is inserted there, and then that tube drains fluid. And the typical place where it drains fluid is into the peritoneal space.
But Dr. Vitor Pereira says there can be problems.
There's too many devices, and the risk of getting clogged, of having an issue or an infection is up to 20% in the first 2 years.
So Unity Health is testing this tiny device called an e-shunt, and Abdul Rahman was the first patient to try it. Instead of using a long tube to carry fluid away from the brain, the minimally invasive surgery places the shunt in a sinus cavity just below the brain.
And that tube is now the drainage system.
The next day he went home. He had a significant improvement on the cognition initially, and an improvement on the gait.
They hope to do 20 such cases in Toronto, and eventually Pereira believes a significant number of NPH patients can benefit from the new e-shunt.
The criteria now is very strict. I think probably 60 to 70% of the patients with NPH may qualify to this procedure.
St. Mike's is one of several international sites testing the new procedure on a total of 240 patients. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Well, coming up, a new way to make sure your pizza is delivered within 30 minutes. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. I'm heading to the Ottawa Rapid home opener tomorrow at TD Place. Well, this is what the temperatures are going to look like. Game time is 5 p.m., but around 2 p.m., if you are making your way down, the Lansdowne, it's a slight chance that we could see some showers, 11 degrees. By the time 5 o'clock rolls around, 12 degrees. And if you are sticking around after the game, on the big screens, they will be playing the Ottawa Charge playoff game. So temperatures are getting down to about 9 degrees, so you definitely want to bring a blanket, maybe that extra jacket to keep warm, but great way for sports, staying outside and enjoying the playoffs right afterwards. Now here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where it is 9 degrees out right now. Fairly cloudy skies for this Friday evening, showcasing Coecky Point. And reminder again that the sunset is at 8:09 this evening.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sneha Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Monday on Your Morning Ottawa, it's May the 4th at the Mayfair. We'll tell you how the historic local cinema is celebrating Star Wars Day. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Celebrity Jeopardy, then back-to-back episodes of Big Bang and Boston Blue. Here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
The opportunity to apply for a special mail-in ballot or proxy ballot will begin in September.
The 178-day dash to the ballot box is officially underway. Today was the first day candidates could register to run for mayor and councillor for the October municipal election.
I think it could be a template, not just for the downtown core, but where we have hotspots all over the city.
Ottawa Police beefing up resources in the downtown and Byward Market area today as part of a new development strategy for the summer. The chief is hoping residents will see results by the end of September. And you'll be paying more than $1.90 a litre to fill up the gas tank this weekend. Gas prices continue to rise as the war in the Middle East puts pressure on oil prices. Big numbers there. What are the numbers looking like when it comes to the weather forecast?
Not so high, unfortunately, Patricia. We are still below seasonal, especially those overnight lows. Look at conditions here. Parts of the valley could see some flurries moving through. It won't quite make it here in Ottawa, but we are anticipating mainly cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of sunshine, but around that 3 o'clock hour, there could be some scattered showers concentrated around the Brockville area. Waking up to temperatures about 3 degrees at 7 a.m. So cool start, northerly winds making it much chillier, only getting to a daytime high of 12 for Saturday, but it could feel warmer than 13 for Sunday because we are getting lots of sunshine in store. But by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday especially, the return of precipitation will move through with average temperatures between 14 and 15 degrees. Patricia, Kimberly, I'm not quite seeing 20 degrees for next week, and we're already in May.
Yeah,
so,
but you know, by the end of May, for sure. By the May long weekend, maybe. Want to check in and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Kimberly Fowler will be on the desk at 11:30.
Yeah, we're actually following breaking news that happened in the past hour or so at Laurier and O'Connor involving a car and a pedestrian. Now, Ottawa paramedics say the pedestrian, a man in his 20s, was on the sidewalk and struck by a vehicle, and then that vehicle crashed into an office building. The pedestrian is being treated for serious injuries, was transported to the Ottawa Hospital Trauma Center. Now, the car has been removed from the building and towed away, but police still have Laurier blocked off both ways between Bank and Metcalf for the investigation, and we'll have updates as they come in posted immediately online from our digital team, and we'll have a recap tonight with your late newscast. And of course, you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, thank you very much for that, Kimberly. And finally for us tonight, what was once a pie-in-the-sky idea is now a reality. Little Caesars is cooking up a new drone delivery service with test runs being launched in, you guessed it, Texas. The company says a pie ordered from a nearby shop can be loaded onto the drone and delivered within 5 minutes after the pizza is ready.
No way.
Wow.
You want it hot, right? That piping hot pizza drop down into your lap or yard. Now, Little Caesars says there's no additional price. The service is faster and cheaper than traditional delivery, I guess, with gas prices the way they are.
Alternative.
You know, it's got to land flat, though, doesn't it, when it comes down?
What's that going to do with the cheese and the sauces? I have questions.
How many other anti-drones will we see going through to divert those onto other properties who are very hungry that night?
Or the birds in the backyard trying to get at it. Rabbits, all of that. Well, this looks beautiful. Some of the flowers are out there getting ready for Tulip Festival in a week or so.
That's right.
I think May 8th, right? That's when it starts.
Will be awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Hopefully no rain. Hopefully no rain.
Thanks very much, everyone, for being here. Have a great night and a great weekend.